we've got everything working with the car, with the track now. The race car, it's all working. We are going to do the hardest bit now. We're going to make it look nice, have menus, have big things up there. So the first thing we want to have, we're going to have to create some more sprites. Now here what we can do is use the text mode. Make sure you do it in the center, because otherwise it will go to sides each one. So I'm going to do a countdown. 3. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. So I'm going to make it nice and big. There we go. I'm going to duplicate this. And this one, I'm not going to have it 3. Double click. 2. Duplicate. 1. Duplicate. Go. So the way this is the 3, 2, 1, go. We can cycle through this. Now, we can use the code of when the flag is clicked. We can then go, we want it to start off with looks. So I want to switch to costume 1. Then we'll have a wait. We'll probably put this all into a loop. Just make it easier. So we can do it, repeat 4 times, I think. So wait a second, and then next costume. So let's see how this works. 3, 2, 1, go. 3. So if we do this 4, let's check this out. That should work. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, too many times. It only needs to be done 3 repeats. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1, go. Now, before we use broadcast, that's a really powerful thing, and we're going to use it here. So we're going to use an event, broadcast, race starts. Now, when we had it over here, we had this stuff will happen once it's all started. So where do we broadcast race starts? We broadcasted it here. We can get rid of that. Now we can use this for all those other things too. So we don't want it. Actually, let's look at this bit here. We don't need these two. So we don't need this one, because that was all done in our go-to starter. Now we don't want this to be on the flag. We want this to be when, where is it? Oh, when I receive, race starts. Now let's try that. 3, 2, 1, go. Now the really cool thing with this is you can nest it. So you have, when this one does race starts, it does the actual driving bit, but beforehand, that program has to be called before it does that. So what we're going to do is we're going to, oh, not the starting line, under sprite. So we're not going to start when the flag goes, we're going to use another broadcast. When I receive, not race starts, we're going to do new message. Let's call it starting signal. Anything that will indicate what you want it to be. So I've got this, when we see the starter signal, it goes to that. We're only going to do the starter signal after we know which card they're going to use. So under here we're going to broadcast starting signal. So let's try this again. Stop. Let's go. Race type 1 or 2. Okay. We go 1, 3, 2, 1, go. Fantastic. We've got it all there. Now the next thing we need to look at is hide. So we're going to broadcast. Now this isn't actually calling on other stuff, so we should be able to just put hide underneath. Let's try that again. Race 1, 3, 2, 1, go. We probably need a weight in there. Or maybe if we do it like this, another way to the front. Doesn't matter where, but you will need to have an extra weight. Okay. 1, 3, 2, 1, go, oh, it's not appearing at the top, so we need to have a show there. Let's put a show. Where is that? Here we go. Show. Let's see. Race type 1, 3, 2, 1. Go. Disappears. Fantastic. Now we can also use this sort of idea for different headings. So if you want to do another one, we can say racing game, whatever you want to do. And that can be another menu. That's too big. Make it a little bit smaller than that. Now this is when, if you have a fancy name for your racing game, this is where you'd have it. Sadly, I'm not that inventive, so we're just going to call it racing game. And we're going to start off when the flag goes. We're going to make sure we show. Where is it? And then we just need to make it hide for some reason. So we could make it as the user has to choose a car, we can use when oh, not that one, sorry. We can do we can use that as well for other things, but we can say have another event over here. Before we broadcast that, we can broadcast here, new message, hide title. So then when I receive hide title, we hide. Car type 1, it hides, and we've got the new one going. So we've got lots of options here. So if you want to do any menus like that, this is how we do it. You can also, I would also use it when we're doing, if you want to have multiple car types, so have the user choose which color car, whatever, you need to have a different sprite for each car, have it popped, and I would use, for example, if we, not that one, if we had paint, and I just drag this costume across here, I would have it go events when something's clicked. I would make it go over here somewhere. Go to this place. It's looking a bit big, so I'll make it a bit smaller. Size to 20%. Maybe 50%, so it's a bit easier to see. There we go. So it goes there, and you can have when this sprite is clicked, that's when I'd have a variable here. So when we've got here, we've got answer 1 and 2. So we can say if they've clicked a car, we can make a variable called car choice 1, 2, 3, depending how many cars you want. And it can work when they've clicked on it, you set that variable to the car type. So this is one of the extra things I've been looking at. You can also do multiple tracks, so ask which track do you want? Track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4. And from they click on the sprite of the number track, the track number, and you can then set in the backgrounds, so you can say if they've, let's say, track 2, so if they make it so that if they click on this one, events, when this sprite is clicked, we can then change backdrop under looks, isn't it? Yeah, switch backdrop to whichever one we want. So this is how we can have multiple tracks going, and most of all have all of these different options available to the user before the race. And this is all up to you how much you want to customize it, how many options you want to give the user. Do you want to give the users options of 2 players? We need to have a button there to show that. Now, I've just shown you how to make a button. You need to use that knowledge to make all these extras. So things you could do is 2 players. You could have multiple tracks. You could have cars of different speeds or abilities, like a car can turn quicker, or a car's more responsive, or this car is maybe bigger, this car's smaller, so it's easier to move around the track. All those options are things that you have got built into your program now, and you can customize it by having the user click on a button and then change some variables. Now, our focus in this program has been on functions. Variables are really helpful with this. The functions themselves are very good in understanding where to go back and change it, and also making it so you've got one point to look at. So you don't have to keep on searching through the entire code to find that one area. You go, oh, this is the area about the types of the car responsiveness. I put the stuff in there. Easy. Now, there's a few suggestions of things you can do to make this better. Have collections, they go around. So you can have a variable saying how many coins you collected. Or you can have a special boost thing, so that increases your speed for some amount of time. There's a lot that you can do to customize this program to make it your own, and I encourage you to try and see what you can do. What would you want in a game? What would you want in this style game? Would you want to have extra collectibles? Would you want something so that if you touch it, the car then crashes or something? Would you want to have 2 players? Are you going to look at 2 players where the cars can collide, which is a lot of coding to do? Or would you just do what the cheats way, which is what I would do, and have they just don't touch each other? Lots of games have used that, including big ones like Warcraft, World of Warcraft. They don't actually care if they touch each other. We have multiple tracks. We have intricate tracks. We have the cars smaller. Are you going to keep the starting point always in the same spot, or are you going to move it around the map based on which track? These are all things you can work out with what you've got. And I really encourage you to try and see what you can do. I'm excited about it. Thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoy.